weather. Hot and humid conditions here in Tampa could dramatically affect the Lions, who have yet to play in this type of climate. And the other story is injuries. Vinny Testaverde of Tampa is on the sidelines with a bruised right knee, while Barry Sanders is out of action with a hip pointer. And good afternoon, everyone. I'm James Brown. Well, with Vinny Testaverde out of action today, the focus now shifts to backup quarterback Joe Ferguson. The 17-year veteran brings a wealth of experience to that position, and with a conservative offensive style, the Tampa Bay Bucs should not lose much in that transition. However, the loss of Barry Sanders to Detroit could be much more critical than most people might expect. My partner is Ken Stabler, and Snake, while Detroit's offense is known as the run and shoot, Barry Sanders is really very important to its success.
Well, James, he accounts for 40% of their offense, and that can't be replaced. What they do get in return is quarterback Rodney Peete. Now, Rodney Peete is a type quarterback, smart, tough, mobile, that can be very effective in this wide-open offense. He'll have to throw the ball more with the absence of Barry Sanders, and he'll have to avoid the big turnover to give this offense a chance.
Snake, everyone knows that Tampa's victory over Chicago last week was the biggest under Ray Perkins. But I tell you, with Vinny Testaverde out of action today, these guys really think that this victory is going to be as important as last week against Chicago.
Well, last week's victory against Chicago was a very important one. This game takes on its own importance, not only because it's a divisional game, but because now the Tampa Bay Bucs are expected to beat teams like Detroit. If they stumble here today, they could be viewed as the same old Bucs.
One of the major objectives that Wayne Fontes wanted to accomplish this year with Detroit was a spirit of teamwork. And that starts and ends in everything that the team does, including the coin toss, when every one of the Detroit Lions went out on the field for the coin toss. Ray Perkins had a few questions about that. What in the world is going on? But again, Wayne Fontes says, hey, I'm just trying to make sure my team is together in everything they do. Tampa Bay has won the coin toss. They have elected to receive. Detroit will be kicking off. Eddie Murray having an outstanding year. To do the kicking, back deep for the Bucs. Donnie Elder, Bobby Futrell. Boots this one underway, a little short. Taken at the 8 by Donnie Elder. And Elder across the 30. To the 37. 39-year-old Joe Ferguson will be starting today and guiding the Bucs offense. The offensive front, a good one in Paul Gruber. Mike Simmons back in action. Randy Grimes, John Bruin, Rob Taylor, and Ron Hall. Backs and receivers, Lars Tate, William Howard, Mark Carrier, Bruce Hill, Danny Peoples, and Willie Drury in on obvious passing situations. First and 10 from the 28. And the handoff goes to Tate. Blaze drops him at the 39, a gain of 3. Lions defense has been playing well this year. Eric Williams, the heavy one, Jerry Ball, who plays extremely well, and Kevin Brooks. Linebacking for Jimmy Williams, Chris Stillman, Victor Jones, and George Jameson, and for the injured Michael Cofer. Secondary has been picked on. Terry Taylor, Holmes, White, Blades, James Griffin, and Bruce McNorton in on obvious passing situations. 2nd and 7 for the Bucs. Howard, Tate, backs. Ferguson completes to Hill across midfield. A flag is thrown on the play as Hill is knocked out of bounds at the 42. And this one will go against the Bucs, holding.
Holding, number 62, offense, 2nd down.
And that one called against Mike Simmons, first-year player from Indiana State, who had been out of action a few games.
I think we can look for the basic run type, straight ahead, power type running today, James, and the ball control type thing, not because of the change in quarterbacks, but just because of the scheme on defense that Detroit will play.
Lars Tate, the lone back, 2nd and 17. And the handoff goes to Howard, check that. William Howard, the lone back.
William Howard in the carry.
And he gets 2 of those yards back. Joe Ferguson, oldest player in the league this year at age 39. But Snake, there have been a number of quarterbacks who have played at a relatively healthy age.
To recognize that first guy right there. He came close to drawing his retirement and still playing.
And all those guys started at those ages, you see, so Ferguson is still a baby. 3rd and 15, Ray Crockett and James Griffin, defensive backs for the Lions. Ferguson from the shotgun. Throws it, intercepted by Jimmy Williams. And Williams for the Lions gives him something to cheer about as he takes it out of bounds at the 38 of Tampa. Jimmy Williams has been playing superb football this year defensively for the Lions.
Well, Jimmy Williams is off to a great year. You're going to see Jimmy Williams right in the middle right here. All he's going to do is he's going to take off back into the hook area. It's a zone. When those linebackers drop straight back, he throws it right to him. He should read zone, dump the ball off to a back on the outside. Nice play.
Just to think, Jimmy Williams wanted to be traded in the offseason. Wayne Fonz talked him out of it, but he's having a good year. 1st and 10 for the Lions. Ball marked at the 38 of Tampa. Rodney Peete, starting quarterback. Intended receiver was Stacy Mobley. So Rodney Peete's first pass is incomplete. And he's played in only 1 game this year, so Pete again trying to find the rhythm. The offensive front, Lomas Brown, Eric Andelsek, Kevin Glover, Ken Dallafor. And for Mike Utley, the injured one in Harvey Salem. Page, Clark, Johnson, Mobley, Stanley, Troy Johnson, and Jason Phillips when they need additional receivers in this run and shoot. Of course, Page in for the injured Barry Sanders out at the hip corner. Mobley in motion. Pete looking downfield and complete. A great reception by Walter Stanley. Stanley indicated to us yesterday he wanted to get that ball more.
Well, what they get on defense is a double zone. Watch these safeties run out of there. There's the vulnerable area right there against a double zone, and that's where they throw the ball. They get the play they want against the proper defense, drop back. There's that vulnerable area in the middle of the field. Nice throw, nice call.
21-yard pickup on that play. 1st and 10, ball at the 18 of Tampa. Off to Page, and Page picks his way down to the 15. The defense that the Lions have out today: Reuben Davis, this is Tampa's defense, Reuben Davis, Kurt Jarvis, and Robert Pig Goff. Linebacking core, a talented one: Kevin Murphy, Eugene Marv, Irvin Randall, and Winston Moss. Outside backers having a sensational year. In the secondary, Reynolds, Jones, Hamilton, Robinson, Bobby Futrell, and Donnie Elder in on passing situations. 2nd and 7 for the Lions. Ball at the 15 of Tampa. Pete decides to run it. And looks to have enough yardage for the first down as Rodney Peete escapes the intended target who was trying to tackle him, Rod Jones.
His abilities fit really well in this run and shoot, James. He's the kind of guy that can sprint out, run with the ball, as you see him do right there. That particular time, he gets zone, he sees those linebackers dropping out of there, just run the ball to the outside.
And Snake, they marked the ball about a foot shy of the first down marker. So that'll bring up a 3rd and short. Tampa, nickel defense, Odie Harris in. Richard Johnson in motion. The handoff to Page, and Page has no daylight. Dropped behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, you see in the end zone right behind the nose guard right there, and his job is to stand that center up, hold his ground. You see Kurt Jarvis doing a good job of that. Then they get a good play out of Reuben Davis, number 79, getting his penetration. That's the best way to stop the run, is to get that penetration by the defensive line.
This man has been Mr. Automatic over the last 2 seasons. Eddie Murray has made 17 consecutive field goals. Eddie Murray keeps his consistent streak alive, 18 of 18, and the Lions on the scoreboard first. They lead it 3-0. 18 straight for him, and he's in some good company that he's chasing, Snake.
Well, Mark Mosley was the only place kicker to be voted the most valuable player in the league. Gary Primmon, the great kicker at Miami for years. Of course, Morton Anderson now did a great job down in New Orleans.
Within striking or kicking distance, if you will. And Murray kicks it off. This one taken by Donnie Elder again at the 8. And Elder hit hard at about the 22-yard line. Keith Karpinski and Toby Caston in on the tackles. So Joe Ferguson, conferring with Ray Perkins on the sidelines, will try to get something generated for the Bucs on this series. Players talked about the kind of adjustment that they had to make to Joe Ferguson versus Vinny Testaverde.
I think you're always going to have to make some small adjustments when you have a new center quarterback combination. Different feel of the hands under the center, different cadence, different voice inflection, small adjustments.
First and 10 from the 23. And Ferguson dropped Jerry Ball. And he wants to play badly in this game.
Well, maybe the best nose guard in football right now. The guy's a great athlete, not really known for his pass rush, but you see how strong he is. He goes right by Bubba Grimes for the sack.
Has extra incentive to want to play well today.
Well, he thought that Tampa Bay was going to draft him, and he's a little upset that they didn't. They told him that he was going to be drafted by Tampa Bay, had his family all excited about it, all of a sudden winds up in Detroit.
They tell Ray Perkins and his players, I'll be in their faces all day today. Second and 18. On the ground, up back near the 18-yard line. The Bucs keep it on the ground. Lars Tate, the ball carrier. We mentioned that Vinny Testaverde has a bruised right knee, will not be playing today. He will actually be signaling plays in from the sideline.
Well, there you see it right now. That's his role today, and knowing the offense well, working with Joe Ferguson on a consistent basis, signaling the plays in. I think Vinny really wanted to play, too. We talked to him this week, and after coming off a great game against Chicago, he wanted to put some back-to-back.
Third and 14. Lars Tate is out. James Wilder, the veteran back, is in. Flag thrown on a play. And the running play goes up near the 30. And Snake, one of the things that Detroit recognized, having played with Ferguson, was that he has a good way of drawing you offside.
He does it with his voice inflection, and the referee's going to tell us that right there. There's the offsides. It's a situation where Joe has the experience of knowing that after you get that quarterback pressure, that one of the ways to help control a pass rush is to use your voice and keep those guys unsettled up on the defensive line.
Jerry Ball was pretty humorous in showing us how.
He didn't sound much like a quarterback to me, but I knew what he was talking about.
Offside, number 55, defense, third down.
Michael Kofer, the call for that time. Coach Farn said that we would see Kofer in on special situations today.
Falls in the mold of a Lawrence Taylor type player, needs a little bit more experience as Lawrence Taylor has, but he's the kind of guy that'll give you the big play rushing the passer. Great pass rusher.
Although Detroit was drawing offside that time, the Bucs players said they have to be cautious as well because they could easily jump the gun.
The Bucs are really hurting themselves here early. They get the good field out of the opening kickoff, and then they get the interception. Then they get a sack here that drops them back, and they're hurting themselves.
And Ferguson dropped again. A trio of blue shirts in there, led by Michael Kofer.
Well, that's the guy. I'm sorry, James. That's the guy we talked about. That's what they put him in there. He usually plays all the time, only playing on pass rush situations. Down at the bottom of your screen. Here he comes. I'm sorry, top of your screen. Number 55, Michael Kofer runs by William Howard, number 43, and that's his strength, rushing the passer.
So the Lions defense does the job. I'm forcing a punt for the Bucs. Chris Moore in the punt for Tampa. Walter Stanley with the fair catch signal. 5-second hang time by Chris Moore did the job, forcing Stanley to fair catch it. Lions will have it when we come back.
That has kept Detroit in the games that they've been in this year.
A defense that has been acknowledged by everyone, the Lions, as doing the job. The offense has yet to catch up to this point. Pete runs it. Across midfield, inches shy of the first down marker.
You know, you talked to Doug Graber, the defensive coordinator for the Bucs this week, and he's been pulling his hair out all week, and that's one of the reasons why. This silver stretch offense, this run and shoot offense, spreads everything out across the field. Everybody starts thinking pass, 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 and dropping back, and then you get a quarterback like Rodney Peete right there that can really run, and a good back like Sanders when he's in there causes lots of problems.
An ineffective offense up to this point, but a lot of that reason because of the rotating quarterbacks.
Exactly.
Second and inches for Pete and the Lions. Complete for the first down. And Rodney Peete finds his target, Walter Stanley. And Snake, I talked a lot about how Walter Stanley was complaining healthily to us yesterday. He wants more passes and thought that Pete liked him a lot and would find him today.
I think that's the case with most receivers, too, James. I think they all want the ball, and they've got a group of receivers here that a lot of them are free agents, almost all of them free agents, and they're developing right now in a system that's not real easy to grasp. It's going to take a while for the timing and everybody to get on the same page.
One of the major elements to this run and shoot offensive success right there, Barry Sanders.
I think that guy right there can gain 1,500 yards in this particular offense.
First and 10 from the 33 of Tampa. And Pete is dropped. First sack for the Bucs. Give the credit to Robert Pig Goff.
Left side, you're going to see number 94. You're going to see Robert Pig Goff, and that's a matchup we can watch. A little bad blood between Pig Goff and Lomas Brown. But there's the pass rush that knocks them out of the field position. It creates the long yardage situation, which plays into the hands of the defense.
The one thing you said is vulnerable about the running shoot, quarterback being vulnerable.
Quarterback's going to get hit an awful lot.
Second and 21. Pete hit as he was looking to go downfield deep by Reuben Davis. And the young fellow takes a second hard shot. Well, you wonder how well Tampa's defense has played after 5 games. Sacks up immeasurably over last year, 13. Doing the job in the secondary and not turning the ball over, but yet forcing it.
And that's one of the stats that all coaches will tell you that is very, very important. If you give away, take-away ratio.
Third and 21. Intercepted. Harry Hamilton.
It's the zone. These linebackers are all dropping back into those hook zones. The idea is to try to get the ball right over the top of those linebackers in front of the safeties. Rodney Peete just overthrows the ball. He had someone open, you see there, just overthrows the ball. And, of course, there's the ever-present Harry Hamilton.
Harry Hamilton's 11th interception in 13 games. He now has a total of 5 on the year. First and 10 Bucs at the 36. Tate, up to the 39. Ray Perkins makes no bones about talking about how that defense, particularly the secondary, has been the anchor for him for the past 3 years.
And he's done it with not doing anything special, you know. He's just getting good, solid play out of 11 guys. They really fly to the ball and play well together as a team.
2nd and 6. Out of the I formation. Complete across the middle. Up to the 46-yard line. Bruce Hill.
You know, I think looking at the way the game has started out, James, both teams maybe the same philosophy on offense. They think that they're going to see zone defenses, which is designed to make the offense be patient and go the length of the field without self-destructing. So you take those little things as Ferguson did there.
And that patience paid off with the first down play. 1st and 10 for the Bucs. Ball at their own 47. Handoff to Tate. Maybe a yard. I mentioned at the top the weather being one of the major stories for today's game for Detroit. 127 degrees on the field, and Detroit was concerned enough about that to get here early.
Came in early to get a workout here in the stadium to see what the humidity and the temperature is going to be like, and there are no shade trees out there.
2nd and 9. Bruce Hill to the near side. Handoff to Tate. Not much daylight. Matter of fact, a little darkness. Lost a yard on the play.
I tell you, this Detroit defense is really a good defensive group with Brooks and Ball and Williams up front. That good set of linebackers. Chris Spielman runs to the ball as well as any linebacker. They play a normal type zone defense, and they ask you to go the length of the field, be very, very patient, and it's awfully tough against a team like this.
Dime defensive package in for the Lions, Griffin and Crockett. On 3rd and 10. Ferguson under pressure and dropped. Michael Cofer. His 2nd sack of the afternoon, 3rd for the Lions, and that Lions defense is really playing fired up.
Well, you know when a guy like Cofer comes that clean, evidently there's a mix-up in the blocking combination. They do a stunt, a cross-type stunt, which frees up Cofer, and with his kind of speed, Ferguson doesn't have a chance.
And Cofer is supposed to be playing with a sore arch and shoulder.
An all-pro type player when healthy, gives you he's an impact type player that is used primarily, as we said, to rush the passer.
Chris Moore in to punt for the Bucs. Back deep, Walter Stanley had a fair catch the last one. Moore gets the short one in. Stanley at the 33, no run, and there's a flag back near the kicker, Chris Moore. Players having a little discussion about the state of the stock market.
State of the stock market, want to dance a little bit out there.
Jerry Markwright is our lead official today. Veteran referee. Ken, you talked a little bit about the bad blood along the left side of the offensive line with Detroit with Loomis Brown, he and Pig Goff.
Running into the kicker, number 51, defense. It's still 4th down.
You're right. I think that could be a matchup that we could watch today. During the course, here's our roughing penalty. Let's see if we can get a good fix on it. Oh, yeah, it just jumps right into him. You have to take an angle. If you're rushing the punter, you have to take an angle. If you jump to try to get the ball, it has to be one. If you miss the ball, then you also miss the kicker.
It was Toby Castle. And Lomas Brown talked to the rest of the defensive players about his personal battle. And these guys are playing fired up as well. Chris Moore back to front again. And there's a flag again as Stanley takes it at the 15 and gets up ahead of steam. And there's a second flag thrown as Walter Stanley takes it across the 45 to the 47. But there's a total of 3 flags on the field. Take your pick. Holding.
Take your pick. Coach Perkins wearing his striped shirt today.
As you heard on the NFL today.
Pretty vocal.
Offside, number 39, defense, penalty declined. Illegal block, number 21, receiving team, on the return, first down, timeout.
Well, we'll give you a chance during this commercial break to sort all of that out. Bottom line is Detroit will have the ball when we come back.
How to get your package through a Mediterranean storm. Most Federal Express overseas employees are from overseas, so they not only know the local customs regulations, they know the local customs. And that helps your package sail right through. Because when delivering in Rome, it helps to be a Roman. Federal Express, the best way to ship it over here is now the best way to ship it over there.
The only way to travel is Cadillac style.
From new, more powerful sequential port fuel-injected V8s to the only roadster in the world with advanced traction control. From energy-absorbing crush zones designed to protect you and your family to the added control of sophisticated anti-lock brakes. This is the substance of Cadillac style.
Cadillac, Cadillac, Cadillac style. Cadillac, Cadillac, Cadillac style.
No place like America. Anywhere, every face tells a different story. But there's a taste we all share. America's meat and potatoes, quarter pounder or McDLT, golden fries made America's way. That's meat and potatoes, McDonald's USA. We're looking at serious love.
When it comes to Major Dad's daughter,
There's something about the guy.
can this
Pretty nice right here.
I think Wayne's a real popular guy here in Tampa when he was here, and I think he's a real popular player among the players, too. I think it's because of his attitude toward the game. Great communicator, motivator.
Lions operating deep in their own territory. Ball on the 12, 1st and 10. Hand off to Page. Across the 15. The difference between Tony Page and Barry Sanders as the S-back.
I think Sanders gives you a much better breakaway type back that can bust one and length of the field for a touchdown, where Tony Page is a more grounded out. He doesn't have quite the speed that a Barry Sanders has, but still can be an effective back in this system.
Coaching staff says he's versatile. 2nd and 6. Mobley in motion. Inside handoff to Richard Johnson. Didn't fool Kevin Murphy. As
That's one of the ways they try to get the ball in the hands of someone who can break one for a long way. You take one of those speedy wide receivers, you bring him back in motion, do the underneath handoff, and try to spring him.
Richard Johnson had been out of football for a couple of years, was an IBM salesman out in California, Los Angeles.
We're going to see a lot of motion today, James, by the wide receivers, and what that does is it dictates coverage for the offense.
3rd and 6. Pete with time, running out of it. Nearly intercepted by Winston Moss, the intended receiver was Tony Page. And Pete, once again, finds himself picking himself up off of the ground. And Kenny, we talked about quarterbacks being vulnerable. Pete's getting hit an awful lot in the first quarter.
Well, that's one of the drawbacks to this offense in my mind is the fact that you take a high-priced commodity and a very important cog in the offensive scheme of things, and you get them knocked around a lot.
Bobby Futrell back deep for the Bucs. Jim Arnold in front for the Lions. 1:51 left in the first quarter. And Arnold. Hang time of 4-3. Futrell gets a nice return. Back to the 48. So Bobby Futrell gives the Bucs good field position.
Dry is bold and wet. The taste of dry is less sweet.
Top-ranked Notre Dame easily over Air Force. And next Saturday is college football doubleheader action at 12 o'clock Eastern. The Battle of the Unbeatens. Tennessee against Alabama.
New young quarterback at Alabama, Hollingsworth, making things happen.
Then at 3:30, one of college football's greatest rivalries, USC and Notre Dame, will be coming away at 3:30 Eastern time next week here on CBS. 1st and 10 for the Bucs from the 48. Tate flips, pays for it. No gain on the play.
Stop by Chris Spielman. Loss of yards, 2nd and 11. The Tampa Tribune and the Buccaneers have teamed up on a fun approach to teaching geography. Teachers should look for details in this book's Tampa Tribune. The Tampa Tribune.
Well, that right there just reinforces what we said about this Detroit defense. Their problems this year has been their offense has been very, very inconsistent.
2nd and 10 for the Bucs. Joe Ferguson operating at the quarterback. Lawrence Tate in motion. Screen pass to William Howard. And Howard met at midfield by Chris Spielman. Well, today was the debut for Herschel Walker in Minnesota. For an update, let's go to New York and Brent.
Well, James, Herschel appears for the first time to return his first kick ever in the NFL. And he holds it back 51 yards for the Vikes. It was called back. So they bring him in from scrimmage. He explodes 49 yards, but an interception cost the Vikes. They're down by 7. Back to James.
Brent, doesn't take a great player long to get untracked.
Making his presence known in a hurry.
3rd and 5 for Tampa from the 47 of the Lions. Dime defensive package in for Detroit. Ferguson, screen pass to Howard. And Howard back near the line of scrimmage. Jimmy Williams read that play well and stopped it. So that's the end of the first quarter, and the Lions nursing a 3-point lead. 4 will be in to punt for Tampa Bay. Start of the second quarter here in Tampa. James Brown along with Ken Stabler. Moore runs Stanley to the side. Unable to return it. Placement kick.
Nice job. Inside the 20 works.
32-yarder. And Wayne Fonts has to be a little pleased with the way his team is operating right now, although he'd like a few more points on the scoreboard. And boy, I tell you, quarterbacks have been taking their shots around the league today, whether they run the run and shoot or not.
Well, you know, that ball draws a big crowd. And, of course, anytime it starts in the quarterback's hands and with the pressure that the defenses today are putting on the quarterback, it's going to happen.
And Pete hands off to Richard Johnson, who creates his own hole and goes up near the 20-yard line on a 4-yard slither move by Richard Johnson.
I think this is one of the areas, JB, coming out and going in short yardage and goal line type situations that if you're having trouble throwing the ball and you have to run the ball, then I think this offense suffers a little bit. But it can make things happen out in the field.
Number 26 is Carl Painter, running back in for the Lions, perhaps looking for a bit more quickness back there. 2nd and 7 for the Lions from their own 20. Complete for the first down, Sir Rodney Peete uncorks the arm, finding Walter Stanley. And for another NFL Today report, let's check back in New York with Brent Musburger.
Well, James, if the kickoff return was called back, this one from scrimmage by Herschel Walker is not. 47 yards, and the Packers obviously waiting for the other shoe to fall. But a Kramer interception is costly. It's still 7-0, Green Bay. Back to James and Kenner.
All right, Brent, and of course, the Lions will be playing Minnesota next week. Green Bay enjoying a 4 consecutive game victory streak over Minnesota. 1st and 10 here. Lions from the 33. Pete, the handoff. And Carl Painter takes it up to about the 37-yard line.
Little draw action. Anytime you get an offense that is designed to spread the field and throw the ball, you'll always see screens, draws, things like that to help slow down the rush.
And I mentioned about Carl Painter coming in for Tony Page. Do you think Fonts maybe is looking for a bit more quickness in the backfield?
I think so. I think quickness in your S back, as they call it, the single back, is awfully important.
Second-year player out of Hampton Institute. And Pete gets it away at the last moment. And there's a flag on the sidelines as Stacy Mobley catches the ball, but pushed and hit late. Don't think there's much question about that one.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 30, defense, first down.
And that's Mark Robinson, the 6-year player from Penn State.
Well, the zone defense forces Rodney Peete to take the little short thing, obviously well out of bounds. That wasn't real tough, huh? It wasn't bad, was it?
They can handle that, huh?
Yeah, it's not too bad. This guy right there is a real good football player, all around the ball, very, very physical player, and doesn't like the rap that he's been getting for being a late hitter type.
Says he prefers to be known as aggressive more than anything, and
pushes enthusiasm to the limit.
So the Lions call for a timeout, talk things over. And I'm sure one of the things they'd like to try to alleviate a bit is that heat down on the field. Talked to a number of the Lions players about what they were doing in anticipation of the heat, and they said they focused on and emphasized conditioning this week.
A little more conditioning, even diet, you know, going to the more the fruits, the carbohydrates, and things like that. And a game like this is going to really tax the players because you take the Bucs side of the ball, they're playing against this run-and-shoot offense, and it makes you rush the passer, and the secondary is always chasing receivers. It's tough.
Snake some talented players out on the field today. Look at Barry Sanders, of course, the Heisman Trophy winner from last year. The runner-up, Rodney Peete, Vinny Testaverde, Paul Palmer is now with the Lions, and Chuck Long, of course, is on injured reserve.
I think the bottom line there is when you have an unsuccessful season and you get to draft extremely high, you're always going to see those Heisman-type players around football teams that aren't doing that well.
So instant replay replay confirmed that the play does stand. Stacy Mobley caught the ball inbounds. Mark Robinson was trying to help him with thinking that it was going out of bounds.
Help him?
First and 10 for the Lions at the 43 of Tampa. Flags on a play as the ball is intercepted. Got a clear path. Ricky Reynolds takes it into the end zone, but there is a flag on a play back at the 43-yard line. To witness on that interception, you can see how Ricky Reynolds was a top sprinter in high school. A 68-yard interception return for a touchdown, but we'll see if it stands after the conference on the field here. Glover, you can get some idea of how hot it is down in the field.
Moved over from guard last year into center.
We saw in the NFL Today report, about the officiating. He asked me, do you think that officials can be intimidated by strong coaches like a Ray Perkins as much as, say, in basketball, the reputation is?
Well, you hope not, you know, but that might be the case.
We have an illegal formation foul. 6 men on the line on the offense. That penalty's declined. We have a personal foul, unnecessary roughness on the defense after the touchdown. The touchdown is good.
So the 68-yard interception return for a touchdown by Ricky Reynolds stands.
Well, there's the call right there with only 5 men on the line of scrimmage, and of course the face mask penalty was after the fact, so the touchdown will stand.
And Donald Igwe-Buike in for the point after. Chris Moore will do the holding. And it's good. So Tampa, key defensive play, puts them out in front of the Lions, 7-3. Top of the show that Rodney Peete was going to have to avoid the big mistake for Detroit in order to do well.
Well, that's where the key is in this offense, this stretch offense, this wide open attack, run and shoot. Your quarterback has to make the good decisions. That case, throw the ball away and start over.
A matter of him maybe being still a little rusty because he's only started one regular season game.
Played the one game. Get in the feel of the game, sure, probably a little bit of rustiness.
All right, in the meantime, that 68-yard interception return for a TD by Ricky Reynolds does in fact stand. Donald Igwe-Buike will be kicking off for the Buccaneers. And a trio of receivers back for the Lions. Taken on a bounce by Paul Palmer. And Palmer takes it across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Take a look at the numbers for Rodney Peete today. Big one was that interception just thrown.
Well, the two mistakes, the two bad decisions, the overthrown pass in the first quarter against a zone-type defense, again this time against a zone-type defense, and that's the growing pains that a young quarterback will go through.
Well, Wayne Font says he is the man that's going to be our quarterback. We've got to get him in there to play and play and play.
He'll stay with him as long as he feels good health-wise.
Tony Page back in at the S-back position. And Pete has to take it on his own to the 39, about an 8-yard pickup. Tackled by Winston Moss.
The reason that the quarterback in this particular offense has to be very mobile. See, it's a sprint-out type thing. A half sprint out to the left, trying to throw the short pass. They bottle it up, and then here's the athletic ability of a very mobile quarterback that's needed.
Call it a 9-yard pickup by Rodney Peete will bring up 2nd and 1. 11:37 remaining in the first half. Bucks on top 7-3. Page, flag on a play as Page gets to about the 39. What's the call on the stop? And this one will go against Detroit.
Holding number 53, offense, 2nd down.
Kevin Glover, culprit.
Kevin Glover, the center right there, trying to do a job on Kurt Jarvis, the nose man, trying to stick up with him. Jarvis beats him right off the bat, beats him very quickly, and then he has to hold to keep him from tackling for the loss.
We'll bring up 2nd and 11. Was overthrown once again by Rodney Peete.
Look at all these people. Then these backers are all going to drop. There's an awful lot of people in there. Those safeties are sitting back there in center field. Harry Hamilton and Rodney Peete has had a tendency today to overthrow everything. Look at this one. Over the top of everybody. There's that center fielder. You've got to keep that ball down when you're throwing it in the middle of the field.
Offense has not yet kicked in effectively. You take a look at 3rd and long situations for the Lions, plaguing them all season long. Big Golf with the sack. Sack number 2 by Big Golf.
Big Golf, probably the best pass rusher of that group up front, in defense of the offensive line. A great job by the defensive secondary to make Peete have to hold the ball.
Lomas Brown said he wanted to have a good game against Pig Golf, who was talking badly about him out of the local nightclub here, but right now Golf is getting the best of him. Bobby Futrell back deep for the Bucks. Jim Arnold punting for the Lions. Futrell takes it to 32, gets back up near the 38. 4.4 hang time on that Jim Arnold punt. 47-yard punt, 7-yard return. First and 10 for the Bucks from the 38. And Ferguson complete to Bruce Hill. day here in Tampa, Florida. Good crowd on hand, 50,000 plus, watching their Buccaneers, who lead the Lions by the score of 7-3. James Brown along with Ken Stabler, 9:44 remaining in the first half. And it's been a key turnover by the Lions that spelled the difference in this game thus far.
Their defense is playing extremely well. Two bad decisions by quarterback Rodney Peete has cost them.
2nd and 4 for the Bucs. Ron Hall and William Harris. Tight end positions. Play action by Ferguson. Complete. And William Howard is roped down. But got the first down, paid the price, but got it. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the National Football League is prohibited. William Harris, the tight end, is out. Mark Carrier and Bruce Hill to the near side. Tate, ball carry. Up over the top to about the 47. 2-yard gain. Jerry Ball of Detroit does his best to try to unnerve the centers on the opposing team.
Probably plays as close, look at that, almost helmet to helmet. Probably plays closer than any other nose guard to the center. The reason he does that because it takes away the initial momentum of the center.
And Bubba Grimes on the Bucs says, hey, if you can just tie him up, that's a victory. 2nd and 7 from the 46 of Detroit. Complete to Bruce Hill near the first down marker. So Joe Ferguson is uncorking a bit more and better. And for another report on the Minnesota Vikings contest, let's go back to New York and Brent.
Now that he didn't do earlier, James, is he's just taking those small things on the outside, not trying to force it against that zone.
31. Tate over the top for the first down. The man known as Leap lives up to his reputation in getting the first down.
Look right here in the middle. Look how close Jerry Ball is lined up on number 60, Randy Grimes, as we pointed out. Now watch the penetration he gets with all that strength. Right there. Look at that penetration. Stops the play for no gain.
Despite the fact that Jerry Ball weighs, he says 298, and we'll call it a biscuit.
Take his word for it?
No, indeed. A biscuit under 300 pounds. But he is one whale of an athlete. 1st and 10 from the 37. Complete to Bruce Hill. Near the 25. So the Ferguson to Hill connection is working well. They found something.
Look out there, and I think Joe now is starting to get in the rhythm of the game. He's understanding now that zone that they're playing, they're dropping back in those hook areas, so he's just going to take the little dumps on the outside, the quick slants into the middle.
And you would kind of expect that. Ferguson's been around, he's seen it all, Snake.
And he hasn't played very much. He played one time last year, played extremely well. It'll take him a quarter or so to get in the rhythm of the feel of the game.
1st and 10 from the 25 of Detroit, out of the I formation. Tate trying to high-step his way through. 3-yard tippy-toe run.
And the thing we're seeing now in this drive right here is typical Tampa Bay Bucs football. Inside running with those big backs, Lars Tate, William Howard, taking the short thing against zone, dumping it outside, getting Carrier and Hill involved.
5 minutes remaining in the first half. Bucs on top, 7-3, bringing up a 2nd and 7.
Hard to throw something in front of that guy that he hasn't already seen.
Pitch back to Tate. And Tate maybe a 2-yard gain on the play. Give the credit to Chris Philman. Chris Philman said, hey, I'm going to be around the ball, so you'll see it.
He does. He flies to the ball. He's kind of the emotional leader out there, real tough guy. You take Lars Tate here, coming off of an extremely good game against the Bears last week. You combine him with that big fullback Howard. That's a good inside running tandem.
And people, when talking about the Bucs, don't talk about them as having the flashy backfield, but they're effective.
Exactly. Those guys fit well into this scheme of offense.
3rd and 5. Carrier and Hill to the near side. To Hill, complete. At the 12.
Again, the experience of Joe Ferguson. Take a look, see what they give you out there. Just pop it, methodically work it down in. You don't lose an awful lot when that guy lines up under the center. Closing in on close to 30,000 yards for his career. Joe has been a wonderful, wonderful quarterback over the years.
And he wants to get to that plateau.
I hope he does.
1st and 10 for Tampa. Ball marked at the 12 of Detroit. 3:56 remaining in the first half. James Waddle in. Incomplete. Joe Ferguson was looking for his tight end, Ron Hall, on that play. And Chris Philman was back helping out with the coverage of football players.
Well, you see Chris Philman right there. There's Chris Philman. He's going to hook up on Ron Hall, number 82, to tie it in and run with him, and just gets a hand up. Nice read by Philman.
Had a strong game last week against the Vikings. Had a strong, I guess we can say, off-the-field activity. Got married recently.
It's pretty strong activity, I'd say. Sometimes tougher than football.
Dime defensive package in for the Lions. Griffin and Ray Crockett specifically. Tate the ball carrier. Inside the 10. 4-yard run by Tate.
Just good power football by Tampa Bay. That time they kick out with that big fullback. Howard pulled the off guard. When I say off guard, they pulled number 69, Bruin. Nice game.
And the Lions have an injured player down on the field. We'll come back to check his status after this. Trade to Seattle for James Jones and took Bruce McNorton's starting position at left corner. 3rd and 6.
Expect man-to-man coverage down here.
Incomplete, as Ferguson was looking once again for Bruce Hill. Benny Blades was on top of that play. And this will bring on Iggy.
Iggy the kicker.
Good showcase today for 2 of the most accurate field goal kickers in the game.
When you take a team that has trouble scoring points, you look at your kicker, that points are awfully tough to get, and you look to your field goal kickers for those points, and they become an important part of your football team.
Big Wave Wike will attempt a 27-yard field goal. It's up, and it's good. So the Bucs move out in front by a score of 10-3 with 3:28 remaining in the first half. And Ray Perkins really has got this team moving along.
Player of the week, and so they're going to be laying for him when they head to Chicago.
42 points, I think, is
a lot of points.
Pretty hefty number there. 13 plays covering 54 yards, 6 minutes and 40 seconds off the clock, and Donald Igwe Wike with a 27-yard field goal as the Bucs out in front 10-3. And Paul Palmer takes it 2 yards into his own end zone. And is dropped near the 15. Give the credit to Donnie Elder. Good scoop move there to try and bring him down.
Any way you can do it. Well, it's time for this guy to get rolling and get this run and shoot. Silver stretch, as the Detroit Lions call it. Time to get it in gear.
And for you Lions fans, an update on Terry Taylor. Just got the wind knocked out of him, but that can be a pretty painful experience. Rodney Peete, the son of Willie Peete, running backs coach with the Green Bay Packers. Trying to get something generated for the Lions. Carl Painter in at the S-back position. Audible. Complete to Richard Johnson. And Johnson, 3-yard pickup on the play.
Well, that graphic kind of speaks for itself. 115 catches, 1,400 yards, 103 for 1,300, 84, 85. It just shows you the type of yards and receptions that you can roll up in this run-and-shoot offense. Of course, the caliber of defenses that they're playing against is a little bit stronger than the USFL group.
And Johnson led the league both of those years, and of course his quarterback was
shotgun Jim Kelly.
2nd and 7. Peete pass, incomplete, batted down. The left side of that offensive line is really getting some pressure.
Well, that's what you have to do. Watch this pressure. Watch the penetration that they get, and that's the idea when they use that half rollout, that half sprint. See the penetration that the linebacker Moss gets, the penetration that 79 Reuben Davis gets. 77 Rodney Weston. That kind of penetration, get the quarterback space.
Detroit 0 for 4, 3rd down. This is 3rd and 7. Complete to Painter. Flags are thrown everywhere as Carl Painter gets it across midfield. And Painter pays the price as he limps gingerly on that left ankle of his, but there are flags on the play. And John Cannon really had a bead on Rodney Peete. Peete got it away just in time.
Illegal block on the offensive team. Number 87, still 3rd down.
Well, the man you saw jumping up and down when he heard the call was the guilty one, Walter Stanley, as Carl Painter is over on the bench. And he did limp off gingerly on that left ankle of his.
Well, you're seeing some of the things that can happen with this wide-open type offense. You have big play capabilities, but I think they're hurting themselves with penalties and, of course, the turning the ball over with the interceptions.
Tony Page is in to replace Carl Painter. And this is Page. And Page gets the 1st down across the 45.
Anytime you get in an offense that throws the ball, as we said earlier, James, is you're going to see screens, you're going to see draws to their what they call the S-back. There's the S-back in the formation, 49, Tony Page, little screen to that side. A play that you'll use when you're getting heat, when you're getting a lot of pressure. Here they let the defensive line get the penetration, dump the ball off to Tony Page. Good call.
Wayne Fonts really likes Tony Page's attitude. Page. And his strength allowed him to pick up the 2 yards on that play. And we're at the 2-minute mark.
Tampa's in hibernation. Tough football player.
Boy, he's the best friend of an orthopedic surgeon. 9 operations.
Got more zippers on his knees and a custom dress.
Custom dress. 2nd and 6. And Carl Painter back in at the S-back. Pete, under heat. Tripped up from behind by Reuben Davis. And that's a 6'4", 285-pound end running down Rodney Pete.
That can run. And one thing that happens in a day like this, today it's so hot and humid, and you chase a guy like Rodney Pete all over the field, it takes an awful lot out of you.
First charge, timeout, 40 seconds.
And this timeout.
They came out early. They arrived in Tampa early, came straight to the stadium and worked out and tried to get a fix on how humid it was going to be here.
In fact, that kind of goes back to the old days of when teams had advantages with be they hot weather or cold weather locations. You think about Minnesota, the old Metropolitan Stadium. And the rotating quarterback situation here in Detroit certainly has not helped the effectiveness of the Silver Stretch. 3rd and 5. And Pete throws incomplete to Tony Page. Again, Pete under heat.
Yeah, Robert Goff again. Robert Goff is just having a field day out here today. Whether he gets a sack or not, he's all over Pete, making him throw the ball away.
Well, as you chalk up the battle in the first half, the individual battle between Lomas Brown and Robert Pig Goff, clear advantage to Pig Goff.
One of the bright spots for the Detroit team, punter Jim Arnold, Pro Bowl player.
He'll be kicking to Bobby Futrell for the Bucs. And he gets a good one away.
Oh, boy. Look at this.
Good hang time on that one, 4.5. It did head and touch the end zone, so that'll bring it out to the 20.
Quite a character right there, too. Kind of a stand-up comedian, does a lot of radio, and real funny guy, and a great kicker.
A lot of his material, of course, was on his own team, about the Lions.
Does impressions. I think he's doing an impression right there of a mad kicker.
Well, one of the reasons he's had such good material to work with is that the Lions have not done very well for a long period of time. 0-5 right now certainly qualifies. 1st and 10 for the Bucs. Ball at their own 20. Tate. Snake, I'll talk about how long it's been for the Lions who have not won a playoff game since 1957.
A bit of a dry spell, huh? And they're in a rebuilding situation now that's going to take them a while, especially with this type of offense that requires a lot of reading on everybody's part.
With 46 seconds remaining in the first half, Lane Fonts will have a little bit to talk about at halftime to try to get his team up and moving. Ferguson hands off to Tate again. And Tate, gang tackle. Jamison and Spielman doing the honors. Right now, Spielman's taking on the crowd. 1 on 50,000.
I don't think he minds those odds. I don't think Wayne Fonts is very far away with his defense. I think they're a young group, and they're tough down the middle with their safeties, and with them in the middle with a Chris Spielman and a Jerry Ball and the inside backers. I don't think they're very far away, JB. Maybe a player on the corners, maybe a corner away. I think where all his rebuilding needs to be done is on the offensive side of the ball, receivers, and get his quarterback, Rodney Pete, some experience.
He's got a couple of good young ones in Pete, and of course, one whom we're not seeing today, Barry Sanders. And everyone we've talked to around the league about Barry Sanders is immensely impressed.
Everybody extremely impressed. Compare him to a combination of an Earl Campbell at those big thighs, not as heavy as Earl Campbell, and a Walter Payton.
He wants to be in there. There he is. 3rd and 9. Inside handoff. This will run the clock down some more. Ron Smith was the ball carrier. seconds remaining in the first half here on a sunny afternoon. Tampa fans watching their young Buccaneer team leading 10-3. James Brown along with Ken Stabler. And indeed, this is a young Buccaneer team. Last year, they were the youngest in the league.
This year, also the youngest team in the league. But even being the youngest team in the league, the majority, the nucleus of this football team has been together maybe 3-4 years now. And that's why you see them playing a much solider brand of football.
And in talking with the players, you genuinely got the impression that they really didn't see a difference going from Vinny Testaverde, who's out today, to Joe Ferguson.
This type of offense, it lends itself to letting another quarterback come in, plain running game, simple passing game.
Chris Moore will be kicking to a dangerous Walter Stanley. Stanley at the 35. And a flag is thrown on the play as Walter Stanley brings it back across midfield to the 48-yard line, a 42-yard punt, 17-yard return. But there is a flag on the play. Jackie Walker was the Bucs special teams player who made the stop.
51 on the return, first down.
Nico Noga. Take a look on the bench there. One rather intense-looking player.
Boy, he is a tough-looking dude. He is really a rugged-looking guy.
And he can hit.
Interested in underwater welding in the off-season. You need an underwater welder? That's the guy to see.
And who's going to make fun of it to his face?
Nope, he's my guy.
5 seconds remaining in the first half. Page. And that'll do it for the first half. That is the end of the first half with the score. Tampa 10. Lions 3. Lions. This a second quarter interception as Rodney Peete rolling to the right, throws incomplete. It's intercepted by Ricky Reynolds. And Reynolds tightropes along the sidelines, returning that for 68 yards. And the Bucs' first score, they go out on top. And of course that helped with the 10-3 lead in the first half. Detroit rotating quarterbacks in this run and shoot offense. Only one touchdown pass, 13 interceptions. 3 of those interceptions were returned for touchdowns in the last 2 weeks, Kenny.
Well, you take that offense, it takes a long time in the run.
Inconsistent with the assessment that we had of Detroit, that offensively they're not doing well, but defense is showing well. And again, the Lions dominate statistically there, but the big key was that one turnover for the touchdown return. Now, as you take a look at Tampa, passing yards only 25, but 30 of those yards were negated because of sacks.
Yeah, and the sacks, and then Joe Ferguson got on track in the second quarter with a drive and started taking the little things on the outside to get the ball down in there. Detroit playing extremely well on defense. Their offense, as it's been all year, has been the hard part.
Snake, how much do you think the heat might be affecting Detroit, or was it a non-factor in the first half?
I really don't think it's a factor, JB. The defense is playing real well in the heat. I think the offense, I think that the question mark is the trigger man, and Rodney Peete right now is just not getting it done.
Quickly, your assessment of the silver stretch offense in the first half.
I think it's really hard to assess it. If you can assess it in this game, in this half, I don't think it's good.
Donald Igwe-Buike will be kicking off for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And a trio of receivers back for the Lions. Paul Palmer, Ray Crockett, and Carl Painter. And Igwe-Buike boomed this one back, and Palmer has to take it. And down it, they will bring it out at the 20.
The silver stretch needs to get stretching if they're going to get something done here. They've got to start making some things happen, and this offense can. It's just that young man right there has got to get it going, and he's experienced, and Wayne Fontes is going to give him that. As long as he stays healthy, he's going to let him play.
Doug Graber, defensive coach for the Bucs, said he really feels that the silver stretch can work in the NFL.
As did Ray Perkins. A lot of people don't think it will work in the NFL. Those two gentlemen think that it will.
Tony Page in at the S-back position for the Lions, 1st and 10 from the 20. This is Page. A yard.
You know, you have a back in there like a Tony Page, a good inside runner, bouncing that ball out. It's not an outside runner. You got to keep that ball up in the middle.
Snake, let's develop that story with Lomas Brown and pig golf. Last year, Lomas Brown was knocked out of the game, and pig golf went around bragging that he was the cause for that. Said it to some young ladies and really fired up Lomas Brown, but Lomas Brown hasn't been able to do much about it in the first half.
Was very upset about it. Was going to play hard today, but as you said, hasn't done much today.
Pete on the scramble. Loses it and gets it back. Winston Moss all on top of Rodney Peete, prevented him from uncorking that pass. And Winston Moss, that play indicative of why he's been able to keep Roderick Thomas, the #1 draft choice, on the bench.
Well, there he is. They flush him out of there, and then there's Winston Moss right there. They brought in their #1 pick, Roderick Thomas. Got Winston Moss fired up. Said he's not going to take my job. Had nothing to do with it. Playing great.
3rd and 5 for the Lions. Ball at their own 25. And this is complete. So Walter Stanley and Pete finally finds the target. Enough for the first down.
Well, it all starts with pass protection, and watch this. It's a little half roll to the right behind Tony Page, but see, Pete doesn't have the pressure. He doesn't have people hanging on him like he has been, and then he sees the guy and takes it. Here's the matchup we talked about, Lomas Brown and Pig Golf. This is what he's been wanting to do all day, is just get him tied up, keep him out of his quarterback's face.
And check that. That was Richard Johnson on the reception. I'm sure Walter Stanley would appreciate me giving him credit for that. And Snake, we've got yet another review. Now, was that a low pass? It didn't look to be a trap ball at all from here, did it?
It looked like a reception to me. Of course, there's the Zebras coming into play again.
And the replay official is L.T. Bonner.
L.T. will straighten it out.
As many of you saw on the NFL Today, a report by Dick Buckus on the number of replays, and their reversals are up by almost 50%.
You want to touch that one?
I think I'll wait for Jerry Markwright.
Let's take his word.
Who are anti-instant replay. A lot of it is for reasons like this, the length of time that it takes to make that decision.
Exactly.
You notice Eric Sanders out there on the field. He's replaced Harvey Salem, who went out injured. We'll try to get a report for you on that. Being told that Harvey Salem is out with a groin injury. So Eric Sanders, number 64, 9th-year player out of Nevada Reno, is in. And we still wait for the decision.
Without Montana, 14-7.
Well, I know one thing, for the players waiting down there on the field in 127-degree heat, it's no fun. They'll take a call either way.
Well, here's a time to go to the refrigerator. The wave.
Well, they finally have something to cheer about here. Kenny, I was always told that if the replay was inconclusive, you let it stand as is.
Further review, the play stand. First down.
What was hard about that?
Not sure. Not sure. There are the numbers I was talking about. 1989 through 5 games. And the number of reversals up considerably. Pete goes down again. Irvin Randall. Sack number 4 of the afternoon for Tampa. First of the afternoon for Irvin Randall. They're a good player out of Baylor.
Sorry, James. They're giving them a lot of different looks for those linebackers. They take Irvin Randall and Eugene Marv and keep those guys in the middle. Right in here, keep those guys in the middle, and then when they bring the outside backers in the middle, it's for pass. This particular is for run. They come with a dog by Irvin Randall. Good call.
2nd and 20. And Pete slides at about the 28-yard line. Gets about 8 yards back on a play. Reuben Davis flushed that one out.
Well, Rodney Pete doing the smart thing by not trying to force the ball as he did in the first half and turning the ball over on the minus side of the field, his side of the field. Run with the ball, protect yourself, come up with a 3rd down play.
I wonder if he had any idea he'd be doing this much running today with a bad knee at that. 3rd and 13 for the Lions. Ball at their own 29. Going upfield for Stanley, complete for the 1st down. Walter Stanley makes the reception at about the 48.
Rodney Pete's pass was complete to Walter Stanley.
Walter Stanley coming down here in this hook zone right here. It takes a long time for it to develop, and you have to have the good pass protection, and that's what he gets this time. Nobody around him, nobody hanging on him. There's that hook zone. Well-delivered ball for the 1st down.
Man who's got a skill at interior design. Walter Stanley. Paul Painter, still the S-back. Painter, the ball carrier. Gets nowhere. A loss of 2 on the play. The credit goes to Rondi Weston.
Ball came on the carry. Stopped by Rondi Weston.
The bad 1st down plays in any offense, whether it's a silver stretch or a conventional offense, the 1st down plays are so important. You create these long yardage situations, and that's been a downfall of this offense. Makes it awfully tough.
Painter's out. Tony Page back in at the S-back position. 2nd and 12. Looking for Stanley. Incomplete. Donnie Elder applying the hit. As we saw Rondi Weston leave for the sidelines, Doug Graber indicated that we would see a lot of personnel groupings on the defense today.
Based on situations and different areas of the field, certain linebackers in for run situations, certain linebackers, basically outside ones, for the passing situations.
But more so than normal because
of this silver stretch offense. Causes a lot of problems, makes you use your personnel.
3rd and 12 for the Lions at the 46. And it's complete to Richard Johnson. So Rodney Pete threads the needle on 1st down, 19-yard play. Let's check in New York with Brent Musburger.
James, this is how the 49ers, at least for the moment, turned the game in their favor against the Cowboys. Blocked field goal by Steve Wallace. Johnny Jackson's got it. He goes.
San Francisco known as the 4th quarter team this year, without a doubt, hands down. 1st and 10 from the 35 of Tampa. Page. Strong runner.
Good, tough inside runner. That's their version of the counter tray play that Washington made famous with John Riggins. And good first down play, good first down call. Probably the best series for Detroit is this series right here, James. Better decisions by Rodney Peete. Really nice throw prior to this play on the scramble situation. His best series.
Page out, Painter in. I'm sure the heat has something to do with that. 2nd and 8. Going up top, looking for Stanley. And Stanley got turned around. Had to do a 360. And that's a part of where the receivers can run whatever route they want, and the quarterback's got to read it.
That's why it takes so long for everybody to get on the same page this offense, because there are a lot of option routes that all 4 of the receivers have to read, plus the quarterback has to read. It takes a time to get on the same page.
Certainly, Wayne Fonts came in today knowing that he was going to have to establish the passing game in order to get the running game going, but even that is going to be without Barry Sanders. 3rd and 8. Complete touchdown, Detroit. Robert Clark. So Rodney Peete gets the time necessary, and Robert Clark from North Carolina Central puts the Lions on the board with their first touchdown of the afternoon.
The little half sprint by Rodney Peete makes this safety react this way. When he reacts this way, the receiver comes down here. Rodney Peete finds him in the seam right there for the touchdown. The safety drifts to his right. There's the throwback. Ring the meter. Touchdown.
And Eddie Murray will look to tie things up. And he does. So we've got a tie ball game here in the 3rd quarter. 7:56 remaining. That will be played at South Bend, Indiana. Always a strong and storied matchup there. And Rodney Peete, of course, played personally 3 times against the Fighting Irish. Never came away victorious. This is Bobby Futrell. And the special teams of Detroit do a good job of stopping him at the 23. So Rodney Peete, in the last series for Detroit, comes away with his first NFL touchdown. There were a lot of them, of course, when he was at USC, but never could lead them to victory against Notre Dame.
Well, that particular series, as we said, James, was probably his best. He had 4 straight 3rd down conversions, and that's when the quarterback earns his money. 3rd and long, 3rd and short, 3rd and whatever. That's when you have to convert that series, 4 straight conversions.
Very confident, very intelligent. He's going to be a star in this league. 1st and 10 for the Bucs at their own 25. Ferguson hands off to Howard, and Howard. No daylight. We've got a good game. Good afternoon here in Tampa, Florida. Detroit Lions and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers all tied up at 10 apiece. James Brown along with Ken Stabler. 7:19 left in the 3rd quarter. And Detroit defensively has been playing well, starting to show signs of life offensively.
I think Detroit has kept them in the game long enough to get so that the Silver Stretch can get on track. And Rodney Peete got him that last series, and we've got a game.
2nd and 7. Incomplete. Intended receiver was Mark Carrier. And all afternoon, we've seen Joe Ferguson going for the little short dink passes, that is.
And it fits into their game plan. They're a conservative type offense, and that's magnified by having the ball on your own 26, 27-yard line. Game tied, you don't want to turn the ball over on your end of the field. As we said, 3rd downs is when the quarterbacks make their money, and there's one right here.
Three wide outs in for the Bucs on 3rd and 7. Ferguson going up top. Just beyond the outstretched hands of Mark Carrier. And Ferguson looking to Carrier, who has yet to catch a pass this afternoon.
Well, Ferguson's going going to give the first look right over here. But he doesn't have anything, so now he's going to come back here on the deep one to try to get something over here, go into his secondary receiver. Straight drop back. Now look at Ferguson. Look to the right, then turn to his left real quick to try to get the big one. A little overthrown.
Walter Stanley, deep for Detroit.
Looks like they're going after this one. Bunch of people up there on the line.
Chris Moore is going to have to get this one away quickly. Walter Stanley back deep for the Lions. And barely gets it away. Stanley at the 38. There's a flag on the play. As Stanley turns the left corner and run out of bounds at the 36. There was a flag thrown at about the 42. Judging by Terry Taylor's reaction, it's against Detroit. It's a 35-yard punt, a 28-yard return by Walter Stanley. Young man who last year was with Green Bay, slight of build, awfully quick and dangerous. And Terry Taylor's reaction was with merit against Detroit. But Bruce McNorton was just inches away from blocking that punt.
Holding number 50. Detroit, well, the kick was in the air. Penalty is from the beanbag spot. First down.
That's Toby Caston.
Hang on.
And the heat, you can see, taking its toll on Wayne Fox.
The heat is on. To distract him, he's going to give him a little boo last week. Don't catch that ball, boo. But an old defensive back's got to be able to move his feet. Got to be able to move his feet a little bit. He doesn't move his feet. Jordan crashes into him, and you know, he comes out of there with a little hip bruise.
That, of course, was last week against the Vikes, and he's still feeling the effects of that. Rodney Peete hands off to Carl Painter, and Painter loses the ball. Tampa recovers. Mark Robinson.
Been that way all year, JB. Quarterback turnovers with interceptions, fumbles, penalties, all on the offensive side of the ball. Just make a coach pull his hair out. Here's one right here. You got to wrap the ball up, protect the football. They turn it over.
And on that play, Snake, Harry Hamilton went down, was holding his left leg, and is limping off gingerly.
Kevin Murphy having a great year, stripped the ball.
And Mark Robinson, of course, recovering it. So the Bucs are certainly hoping that Harry Hamilton isn't injured very badly. Coming into the game was tied for the NFL lead with interceptions with 4. He and Mark Robinson both. And this play will be reviewed up in the booth again.
Maybe ruling he was down.
Perhaps. Snake, there's a battle down in the Lone Star State between Dallas and San Francisco. For a report on that, let's go to New York and Brett.
All right, James, here's the touchdown that tied the game. It was 3rd and goal, Clack on a simple slant. And now the 49ers under Steve Young are trying to come back. Time running out in the 3rd, deadlocked at 14. Let's go back to James.
All right, Brent. Dallas doing their best to break a streak of sorts to get back into the win column.
Well, the situation is going to take time. You go in there with a real young football team, a new coach to the professional game, and it's going to take a while to build a program.
Jerry Markwright having a little bit of an opportunity to chat with the Detroit players. So look at Jerry Ball. Jerry Ball.
Enough material in that uniform to make a tent.
You know, he says he can put on weight so very easily.
Jerry Ball. Yeah, he puts on weight. We ask him, how do you put on weight? Does it have anything to do with what you eat? And he says it has everything to do with what you eat. JB says, well, what do you eat? He said, pizza.
Further review of the play stand. First down, Tampa Bay.
And the play does stand. The fumble recovery good by Tampa. Matter of fact, that review was a lot quicker than the last one. That one only a minute and a half. Jerry Ball ought to try to eat him here at Hungry Harry's. Maybe he won't gain as much.
Best barbecue in town.
Tate and Howard, the backs, in the eye for the Bucs. complete to the sidelines. Mark Carrier, and that's his first catch of the afternoon, so he keeps his streak alive, catching one pass in 22 consecutive games.
And that's the same thing that Joe Ferguson did in the second quarter for the only really drive that offense had. And on the same part of the field, as a matter of fact, taking that little short out against the zone.
That'll bring up a 2nd and 3 for the Bucs. Ball at the 28 of Detroit. 6:27 remaining in the third. Tie ball game. Tate in motion. Ferguson looking for Hill. Incomplete. A flag, a late flag thrown on the play at the 28-yard line. Joe Ferguson frustrated with himself because Bruce Hill was there.
Had something over the middle.
And this one goes against the Bucs. Would have been for naught anyway.
Holding number 60, offense, 2nd down.
And that's Randy Bubba Grimes.
Well, you get a guy like Jerry Ball, as we said, maybe the best nose guard in the NFL, on your nose all day long. Applies some pressure, makes you do things, makes things happen.
So there's no way he can undercut, hit him at the knees, hit Jerry Ball at the knees.
Kind of guy that's such a good athlete, he's so light on his feet for a 300-pounder that you can't cut him. He'll jump over you and run to the play.
Plus that low center of gravity. 2nd and 13. James Wilder, the lone back in for the Bucs. And Ferguson throws complete to Carrier for the first down. 18-yard pass play from Ferguson to Carrier.
Well, Joe Ferguson's getting a good pass protection, as he did in his best drive earlier. See nobody around him. They're playing a deep zone. Look how far off Jerry Holmes is, 43. Raise up and take it.
Hopefully the one thing Testaverde is watching from the sidelines is Fergie's ability to look off a receiver.
Exactly. That's what comes with an awful lot of experience. Look one side, come back to it.
Howard and Tate the backs in for the Bucs. 1st and 10 at the 20.
Busted play.
And Ferguson throws it away.
Busted play. Busted play.
And there's a late flag thrown at the 24-yard line.
There's no foul on the play. There's no foul on the play.
They're so used to throwing it.
Well, there's a battle also between the Redskins and the Giants. Let's check in with Brent.
And James, we've got a spectacular touchdown to show you for the Washington Redskins. Mark Rippon, 29 yards, watch Ricky Sanders in the end zone. And the Skins lead it for the first time today with just seconds left in the third quarter. Now let's go back to James.
Boy, talk about a very big NFC Eastern battle between the Giants and the Redskins. Donnybrook going on up in the Meadowlands. Ferguson back on 2nd down. And nearly intercepted by Victor Jones, but yet there's another flag on a play. Ferguson was looking for Tate out of the backfield, and Victor Jones had a bead on it. This penalty against the Lions.
Holding number 59, defense, automatic 1st down.
Jimmy Williams, the veteran outside linebacker. Kind of things you see against a team trying to find itself, penalties and turnovers.
Exactly. One of the few mistakes made on defense. Most of them have been on the offensive side of the ball. This one cost them. I think you really have to like that guy and really pull for him, you know, and hope that he gets his program going. Kind of guy that, even on team flights, he puts all the coaches up in first class. He sits in the back with the players, and he's got them going. I hope he does well.
So do his players. They're trying. That's what they've been saying. And Howard takes it down near the 10. 5-yard bull run.
guy that came out of college, came out of Ohio State, I think maybe second-round draft choice somewhere down in there, that a lot of people didn't think that that guy could play pro football because not a real big middle linebacker, not a real fast middle linebacker, but it turned out to be a pretty good one.
Didn't properly measure the size of his heart.
That's tick right.
2nd and 6 from the 11. Ferguson. Incomplete. Pass intended for William Harris, who had it for a second. Benny Blaze with a bone-jarring wrap from behind.
Good read by Joe Ferguson. Little post-type route to the tight end. Could have been caught.
Will bring up 3rd down and 6. 5:15 remaining in the 3rd. Tie ball game, 10-10. Dead.
30-second clock get him.
Wasn't too much time.
Delay of game, offense, 3rd down.
Yeah, to the next quarterback.
Well, you know, one of the things you run into when you signal the plays from the sidelines is you've got to get that stuff to your quarterback as quick as you can so that he can get him to the line of scrimmage, take a look at what all he sees, and then make his calls.
Which is one of the problems that some of the Detroit players said they were experiencing with the run and shoot.
Exactly. Takes a lot of adjustments on that particular type of offense. You need to get it in there as quick as you can.
It's a 3rd and 11. Ball marked at the 16 for the Bucs. Howard, the lone back. And Ferguson overthrows Bruce Hill badly.
He had the play that he wanted. When he hit the tight end in the middle, he should have been caught for a touchdown. Good read right there that it forces them into a play that they didn't want, so they have to settle for the field goal.
So Detroit's defense holds.
Again.
Been the constant this year. Donald Igwe-Buike in to attempt a 34-yard field goal. Chris Moore holding it to Igwe-Buike. Good. So Donald Igwe-Buike boots the Bucs out in front by 3. The Tampa Bay battle Washington. Or at 4 o'clock Eastern Summer, we will see New Orleans taking on the Los Angeles Rams. And it all gets started at 12:30 with the NFL today. Igwe-Buike putting Paul Palmer back in the end zone, 5 yards deep. He brings it out. And is dropped at the 20. So the Lions and Rodney Peete will start at their own 20.
Well, they've got to be consistent in their offensive play again. They get their touchdown with a nice drive, and then the last series, they get the fumble out of Painter, and they've just been inconsistent with controlling the ball.
Peete has yet to show any indications of that knee bothering him. Looking for Stanley. He's got him complete for the 1st down at the 38. Kevin Murphy on the stop.
Little half sprint to his left, but what he's going to do is he's going to come back here and throw the ball back down this side, sprinting to the left to get the safeties to react. There's the sprint to the left. See him turn and come back right in there in that hook zone. Good play, good read.
So, Stick, you continue to do that until they take it away from you?
I think you take that as long as they'll give it to you.
19-yard gain on that pass play. 1st and 10 for the Lions at the 39. Complete to Stanley again at midfield. And the officials now ruled it off. They say it's incomplete. And Stanley not offering much of an argument.
Here's what makes it tough in this situation when you have a guy like Rodney Peete. Sprints to his left, looks back to his right. Now his ability to move around and buy time and throw on the run makes him dangerous.
The ball was right there. Stanley just couldn't control it.
That's been a problem all year, is drop passes. Really nice young man. Talked to him yesterday, and just really loaded with class and wants to perform, and you have to pull for he and Wayne Ponce.
Says he's put the disappointment of the draft behind him, but I think that really is fueling him in his effort to show well in the NFL. And we've got yet another replay. Do you think that might account for why some of the officials maybe are feeling hesitant about calling certain plays because they're being second-guessed upstairs?
Well, they stop the game so long and they review things, and the communication doesn't seem to be as quick as it needs to be. And maybe you get guys that when you start second-guessing them and putting them on camera and things like that, that they're not as quick at the trigger with that little yellow flag.
Well, as Dick Buck has brought out in his report, make no mistake about it, the game is getting more difficult to call. Rule changes.
Rule changes and the scrutiny put on the officials. Those guys get more airtime than Vanna White.
Well, as we mentioned earlier,
After further review, the play stands. Second down.
The number of reversals have been up this year, but this play stands. Carl Painter, the S-back. On second down, Painter, the ball carrier. Dropped at the 39, Winston Moss. 2-yard gain.
Off the counter tray action, back takes a little delay step. They pull the off guard, the guard and tackle away from the play. Pull them up in the hole, try to break something.
Painter out, Tony Page in, and Harry Hamilton, obviously out of the game with the knee injury. 3rd and 8. Going up top for Johnson. And Richard Johnson off of his fingertips. Ricky Reynolds provided the coverage.
Got to catch that. Here's the motion man. He's already come from over here in motion, then he's going to run right down this seam right here. This ball just has to be called. That's all it is to it. He's already gone in motion, straight drop back. Rodney Peete throws a strike. And he needs to come up with that one.
Snake, you can see the possibilities with this offense if it's executed properly.
I agree. I think there's a lot of things you can do with it. I think you suffer on your short yardage and goal line situations, but you can strike quick.
Jim Arnold gets a beauty away to Bobby Futrell. And Futrell dropped by Toby Caston and Tony Page. 46-yard punt, no yards on the return.
Looks to be a McBiscuit morning.
They were in 137 degrees down on the field, and it doesn't appear as if the heat is affecting the players, but that's easy for us to say up here, though, Snake.
It's easy up here in the shade to say that, isn't it? But I think the game so far, JB, has boiled down to both defenses playing extremely well, and now it's become a game of field position. Defense holds, kick, and hope to get to good field position.
Well, Wayne Fox would love to get his offense playing as well as the defense has been playing. 1st and 10 for the Bucs from their own 12. Ferguson. Run out of bounds at the 17 by Jimmy Williams.
Well, Joe making the right decision there. They fake a toss, and Joe, he does a little half sprint out to try to get somebody on the outside, and rather than take the chance of turning the ball over deep in his own territory, just takes off with it.
at the 19, bringing up 2nd and 3. James Wilder, the lone back for the Bucs. Wilder, the ball carrier. Might have gotten a yard. James Wilder has really accepted his role as a backup player here at Tampa.
Yeah, after carrying the load as a running back year in and year out in a losing situation, and has really, like you said, adapted to his role very well to help the younger backs, William Howard, Lars Tate, play special teams, and provide the veteran leadership that a young team needs.
And while he is genuinely playing the part of company man, you could tell he would love to be back in the thick of things.
Sure. Wants to play. That's the kind of guy you want.
3rd and 1. Tate and Howard are the backs for the Bucs. Tate got the first down.
Watch William Howard's block over in this area of the field. He kicks out, the quick fullback comes and kicks out right there, which allows, here he comes, watch it, 43 kicks out. There's John Bruin, 69, getting hooked up on the linebacker, Victor Jones, enables them to get the first down.
Need a little help.
Got to have help from your friends. William Howard, perfect back to this thing. Good inside runner, tough blocker.
1st and 10. And Tate takes it for a couple.
Very important part of the field. A very important drive right here because we said it has turned out to be a game of field position with both defenses playing extremely well. Important to get the ball out where you can use your offense. Plus, if you have to kick the ball, then you kick the team to the other end of the field, and here you are playing for field position.
104 yards total offense. My goodness. On 2nd and 9, Ferguson. Complete up to the 35-yard line. William Harris, the tight end.
Well, they got their two tight end situation in now, James, with William Harris and Rod Hall. That time they clear out with the tight end on the right, and they bring that guy right there, William Harris, underneath.
Second-year player out of Texas. And there's George Jameson off the field for the Lions, heading toward the locker room. Here's me walking okay. I wonder if he has something to do with that. 3rd and 2. For Hill, it's complete. First down, Tampa.
Fancy, just a little slant over the right side. Joe Ferguson takes a 3-step drop, real quick drop, and waits for the receiver, Bruce Hill in this case, to get in those throwing lanes.
As the clock winds down in the 3rd quarter here, 13-10 ball game. William Howard, the ball carrier. Pickup of a couple. I think we've got about 46,000 people here. And you may say, well, that's not a lot in a 74,000-seat arena, but that beats the previous average attendance for a Detroit game against the Bucs.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. They come off of a game, a big game. They beat the Chicago Bears. They have 70,000 here. You would think that the people would want to get behind this young ball club, get behind this young Perkins-built ball club, and support them. Come out here and get behind them.
On 3rd and 6, James Wilder and Don Smith in at the back.
Hey!
The official.
Gotta look the ball in your hands. Gotta look it in.
So the umpire breaks that one up.
Here's the intended receiver, the guy with the striped shirt. He goes right down through there. Joe Ferguson's in the shotgun. Drops back, not moving real quick for a receiver. Looks the ball in and drops it. Got to come up with that one.
Good reaction, though. He did duck. Could have been worse. So Chris Moore will come in to punt for the Bucs. Walter Stanley back deep for the Lions. Stanley inside the 20, gets to the 21. 3 Detroit turnovers.
Well, we talked about how important that giveaway-takeaway ratio is. Their defense is playing extremely well, but the long interception returned by Ricky Reynolds, and that gives them points. They can't turn the ball over that way and expect to win.
And defensively, his squad continues to play solidly.
They've got a tough group. They may be a player away on defense. Their work's on the other side of the ball.
1st and 10 for the Lions from their own 20. Johnson. And Richard Johnson makes something out of nothing. Specifically an 8-yard run.
Sorry, JB. Another way to try to get somebody with some speed carrying the ball. They take Richard Johnson, little slot back, put him in motion, try to pop him through there. We talked about James Wilder, the role player that's carried the load, the all-time leading rusher for the Bucs. There's a guy that's carried the load on offense in a losing situation year in and year out, but still accepts his role of playing special teams.
Former starter doing the job via leadership. 2nd and 2. This is Richard Johnson again. He's got the first down. And a late flag as Richard Johnson was hit late out of bounds. Odie Harris appeared to be the culprit. Number 20 on the Bucs. I don't think that one will be needing a replay.
You know, here's our call.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 36, late hit out of bounds. First down.
They give it to Bobby Futrell instead.
Well, it's an obvious penalty. I mean, your defense is playing good. Your defense is kicking, holding them back in there, and you're playing for field position. Then really, not a very smart penalty at all. It gives them a first down out at midfield.
And you know what? That was not Futrell. He was in the direction that was, in fact, Odie Harris, number 20.
Our crack spotter, Mr. Gary Lynn, pointed that out to us.
Aye. Pete, complete. A couple yards shy of the first down marker, Stacy Mobley. And for an update on that Giants-Washington contest, let's go back to Brent.
Well, James, a little daylight for the Giants. Phil Simms' second touchdown pass of the day goes to Odessa Turner, who is rapidly becoming one of the better receivers in the NFL. A 10-point lead inside of 5 minutes. Now back to James.
All right, Brent, an important NFC East Division contest taking place there, and hard-hitting as usual. 2nd and 2 for the Lions. Ball at the 41 of Tampa. And Rodney Peete runs for the first down plus a whole bunch.
Well, you look back at the penalty now. They had them back 30, 35-yard line. Penalty gives them ball up at midfield, which opens up all the offense. You're able to use everything in your arsenal, and you get a guy like this who can run the way that he's running, and now they've got the ball down in there.
With a bad knee. 14-yard run by Rodney Peete. If you take a look at the Giants, you just saw the update there, moving out in front of the Skins.
I think he will do well in this league. I think all he needs is the experience. He said he's so smart and intelligent. He's in a system that will use his abilities extremely well. I think he'll do well.
Rodney Peete. Page. Inside the 15. I'm giving him too much yardage.
He'll take all he can get, I'm sure.
Tony Page with the 4-yard run. Takes it down to the 23.
Tony Page is a good, solid back. He's a good, solid back. This system really misses Barry Sanders. You pop him up in there when everybody's running off in coverage, you got something going.
On 2nd and 6. Page. A 3-yard goal run. Well, he's got a number of nicknames, and one of which is Spike.
Spike Page. I think he injured himself in the course of a real fancy-dancy spike of some sort.
I don't think he's tried it since. Everywhere. Question is, was Tampa drawn off sides?
Full start, number 64, offense.
Eric Sanders, the man who replaced Harvey Salem. I know he wishes he were back in Nevada, Reno right now.
Did someone tell us that he was a member of the snow skiing team?
That's exactly why he wishes he were back there.
I'd like to see him coming downhill on skis.
Pete's got the first down. So Rodney Peete creating offense when there's no opening.
Creates offense, and the reason you see that happening, the reason there's so much room to run is because that silver stretch offense, these guys all run off, and the safeties back here are all run out of the picture following all of those wide receivers. So as a result, he has nothing. There's nobody around him because they've all run into the end zone. By the time they get to him, nice game.
And Kevin Murphy was lucky he didn't get called for a face mask penalty there. 1st and 10 from the 13 of Tampa. On the option, Peete loses the ball, and it's recovered by Tampa.
Well, it's going to be an option right down the line. You got to run the option. He makes the right decision of taking the ball and running up in there, but it's one of the things that I do not like about this silver stretch offense is asking your quarterback to run up in the middle of all of that. And he's too high priced, too important a commodity to get knocked around.
From this angle, Snake, I'm wondering if, in fact, he wasn't down before the ball came loose and the play.
I think we're going to get a look. Put the ball up. Cover the ball up.
And that question certainly is being asked upstairs in the booth where the play is being reviewed. You want to put your striped shirts on that one?
Looking at the replay, I think the hand came across there and stripped the ball out. I think Mark Robinson, number 30. Let's take a look-see. There's 30. There's his, look at Robinson's right arm get in there. His knees are not down. Is the ball loose?
I think the play stands.
I think the play stands.
Knows that turnover statistic. One thing he said he latched on to quickly as a head coach
is how important that giveaway-takeaway ratio is. We keep talking about it, but you give it away no matter where you are on the field, you're just going to kill yourself.
And Detroit is the worst in the league, minus 14 coming into today's game. important clock on the left-hand portion of your screen, bottom left-hand portion.
Wayne Font's got a vote of confidence from Mr. Ford, the owner of the Detroit Lions.
After further review, the play stands. First down, Tampa.
Good call, JB.
So Mark Robinson comes up with a big play, stopping a scoring drive by the Detroit Lions. First and 10, ball at the 4 of Tampa. And the Bucs stay on the ground, take it across the 5, about a 3-yard pickup.
Pretty simple, both sides of the ball right now. Offensively, run the ball. Keep the ball on the ground so you don't turn it over via passing the ball and try to get the ball out with some first downs and make the clock work for you. Conversely, the other side of the ball, we've got to stop them down here, force a punt to get to good field position.
The game clock shows under 9 minutes, 8:54 remaining in the contest. Bucs holding on to a 3-point lead, 13-10 over the Lions. Second and 7. And leaping, as he's wont to do, is Lawrence Tate. There's a late flag on the play. It looked like Bruce Hill and Terry Taylor were going at it. Extracurricular activity.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 21, defense. 15 yards, first down.
That hurts Terry Taylor. Well, George Jameson left the field a little earlier. Appeared to be heat exhaustion. And we may have another Lion player succumbing to the heat. By 3, Snake.
Well, you look at them defensively, they're playing their hearts out there, and the penalty just then is really uncalled for, and it really just kills you. Offensively, fumbles, interception, the same thing that has them 0-5.
Tate. Maybe one. And the report on William White is a pinched nerve in his right shoulder. Bring up a 2nd and 9 for the Bucs. And he's back quickly, William White.
Your attention, please, is Sherry Brown. Please call the stadium office. Sherry Brown.
68 yards rushing, 67 passing for the Bucs. Low totals.
135 total. I mean, there's some balance there. It's only 60 passing, 60 running, but there's some balance.
1 2nd and 9. Complete. Ferguson across the middle to the tight end, William Harris.
Ferguson's pass was complete to William Harris.
6-yard gain on the play.
60 yards.
Herschel Walker, 148 yards rushing. Minnesota will snap that 4-game losing streak, apparently, against Green Bay.
Big play right here, JB. Clock starting to become a factor with 7 minutes left. Awfully important for the offensive team to get the first down, to work on the clock, and of course, Detroit needs the ball back.
You hear me when I need you. On number 21 defense, 5-yard penalty, previous spot, automatic first down.
Now Wayne Fonts is beside himself as Terry Taylor picks up yet another penalty.
Don't sugarcoat it, Wayne. Say what's on your mind. celebrations of 0-5.
Well, he was with this Buck squad when they were 0-26, and he says, we ask it, did you learn anything through a losing situation that can be helpful for you?
And he said that he did learn a lot of things. He'll try to pass that on to his players going through this extremely tough time that they're going through.
But nonetheless, he says he hates it, absolutely hates it. And the report from the field is that Terry Taylor has been doing something rather impolite, spitting in Bruce Hill's face.
That's a no-no.
Dexter Manley had that called against him, and he said, Dexter said, I was sneezing.
Okay.
Tate wrapped up by Jimmy Williams and company. Loss of 1.
Well, you know, number 21, Terry Taylor, right there, what he needs to do is he needs to realize that his defense is out there just breaking their tails to try to stop this group and cut out all the spitting or talking or whatever he's doing and settle down and play football and try to help this team win.
Giants, second consecutive victory over the Redskins this season, and San Francisco, fourth quarter team again, coming through with a victory over Dallas. 2nd and 12 for the Bucks. Ball at the 32. Complete. And that was William Howard and Jerry Ball.
It's ridiculous. It's uncalled for.
They're going to get a penalty. Now, Jerry Ball was frustrated because he thought that William Howard actually initiated the contact first against the tackler.
Wayne Fonse's staff arguing that he was not out of bounds.
Unnecessary roughness, number 83, defense.
Now, the official called 83, but what he meant to say again was 93, Jerry Ball. Well, the heat's adding to the tempers here.
He steps out of bounds, but I guess they don't rule him
The
out of
official
bounds.
hasn't signaled anything yet, and that's where Wayne Fonse's upset. He said
Rightfully so.
Yeah, no signal.
Let's just settle down out there. We've still got 6 minutes to go. Let's eliminate all the personal fouls and play the tight defense that we've been playing all day, and we can get something done.
That's the company line, but how many times have you seen situations like this inspire teams?
Exactly. We'll see. We got 6 minutes.
6:10 exactly remaining in the contest. Tampa with the ball. 1st and 10 at the 48. And James Wilder takes it inside the 45. There's a late flag on a play, and this one will go against Tampa. And you can expect the officials to call it tight from here on out.
Holding number 60, offense, 1st down.
Bubba Grimes, the culprit. Tampa doing a good job of controlling the ball on this series.
Controlling the ball for 3 minutes. There's the situation. It's holding. It's a 2nd, maybe 3rd call on Randy Grimes, and that's the thing that we've said that Jerry Ball causes. He makes you do things that you don't normally do. He has to grab his jersey to try to stand him up, and he gets caught. As you were saying, JB, they've eaten up 3 minutes of the clock, but they've done it via 1st downs by penalty.
1st and 20 for the Bucks. Ball back at the 38. Wilder and Smith, the backs. And the ball is knocked down, incomplete. That'll bring up 3rd and 20 for the Bucks. One disadvantage for Joe Ferguson versus Vinny Testaverde, the height difference.
Height difference, especially if your offensive line is having trouble stopping the penetration, as Grimes is having a little problem with ball. Don't see things as well.
Joe Ferguson barely 6'1", Vinny Testaverde 6'5". Still 2nd down, 2nd and 20. to Wilder, complete. And Wilder gets up near the 48-yard line. Gains 10 back on the play. Will bring up 3rd and 10.
There's a nice way to fight the heat. What exactly is that? Is that flight? Is it keep you cool? Is it a small air conditioner?
So again, Snake, I talked about how the extracurricular activity may have fired up the Detroit defense. Crucial 3rd down coming up here. We'll see if the defense holds. The lone back. Complete for the first down to Willie Drury.
Just a really nice play, JB, on Ferguson's part. Watch this. Back in the pocket. Feels some heat from Eric Williams on the right. Immediately comes back to his left and throws a strike out there for a big first down to keep the clock working in their favor.
Only his 2nd catch of the season. And Vinny Testaverde taking notes, watching the veteran, looking off, coming back.
One of the things you can learn from a veteran player, see the whole field, go to secondary receivers.
1st and 10 from the 39 of Detroit. 4 minutes remaining. Wilder. And the veteran running hard.
This is the things that a good team, a winning team, championship-type teams have to be able to do. In the last part of a football game, to be able to control the football.
You see who Perkins has in there to control the football from the backpack.
The veteran James Wilder, talked to him this week, and he says he hasn't lost anything, but he understands that these young players are the future and accepts his role.
So the same thing happened to him when he came in, playing behind Eckwood. 6-yard run by James Wilder brings up 2nd and 4 from the 33. Wilder, first down.
Showing his leadership, coming in, getting it done, the toughest part of the game.
14-yard run down to the 19 of Detroit. .2:20 remaining in the game. Wilder, flag on a play. The Bucs. Snake, what better way to show you belong than to show it on the field?
Holding number 60, offense, first down.
Bubba Grimes, another penalty. Boy, he's out of date.
You hate to keep saying it, but it's what's causing it. The best nose tackle in the NFL. Putting a lot of pressure on Bubba Grimes, and he's doing whatever he has to try to control that big fella. Sometimes you have to stretch the rules a little.
Jerry Ball comes out of the game. Lawrence Pete is in at nose tackle. Pete, the rookie out of Nebraska. 6 feet, 282. 1st and 20.
Same mold as Jerry Ball. Short, no center of gravity, real strong. Did I cover that okay?
Same mold. Incomplete. Ball was thrown in the direction of Jackie Walker. And Chris Spielman, give him the credit for breaking that one up.
Well, Spielman doesn't care if Joe Ferguson's a 17-year veteran. He's not going to take it easy on the old guy. He's just going after the ball and gives Joe a little shot. Part of being a middle linebacker.
Brings up 2nd and 20.
Hillman, not the best cover guy. He's not used in that situation to cover backs and tight ends and things, but you want somebody to go from tackle to tackle and go to the ball. There's not many better than that young guy right there.
And anytime you see the hands on the knees, you know one is winning. And he's in great shape. Carrier in motion. Wilder. And we're at the 2-minute mark of the ball game. Tampa.
Timeouts really come into play, not as much on the Tampa Bay side of the ball as it does on Detroit's side of the ball. Offensively, if the Tampa Bay Bucks, you have to think that a field goal right here gives you 6-point lead, which a touchdown can beat you. But yet you don't want to think in terms of trying anything dangerous, throwing the ball into people where you'll turn the ball over. But you would like to get the first down, if possible, to get the score.
A big 3rd and 18 for Tampa. Ferguson back to pass, complete to Carrier.
Good safe pass, something underneath.
Shy of the first down marker by about 4 yards, but certainly within field goal range for Donald Igwe-Buike. And Detroit calls its 2nd timeout.
Here's where the ball is going to be caught in this area right there. They bring things underneath. They don't want to force anything into coverage, so they run it underneath. Joe's waiting for him to clear. There he comes underneath, hoping maybe he can break a tackle for the first down. Now, I don't think there's any decision here. You kick the field goal, make them have to go the length of the field, and a touchdown to beat you.
So the Giants knock off the Redskins, Minnesota over Green Bay. And you'll get all the scores and highlights, latest information from around the league with the NFL post-game show with Brent and Irv, and that'll be coming up at the completion of this game here. So Donald Igwe-Buike comes on for the Buccaneers. Tampa on top. A 33-yard field goal attempt by Igwe-Buike. And it's good. And James Wilder once again leading the special teams charges. Drops Palmer at the 24-yard line. In Tampa, Florida, 16-10 ball game here. Bucks on top. James Brown along with Ken Stabler in an NFC Central Division clash.
It's just been a real tough defensive struggle. Both defenses playing extremely well. Detroit turning the ball over too much.
And if there's any time for the silver stretch to work, this is it. And Pete brought down from behind by 6'3", 270-pounder Pig Goff.
Pig Goff playing real well today, putting the heat on his pass rusher, running down Rodney Peete several times. Here's the hurry up.
Brings up a 2nd and 2 from the 32. Flags on the play. Were they drawn off or not?
Ball start. Number 65. Offense. 2nd down.
Eric Andolsek, 2nd-year player out of LSU. Make it 2nd and 7 from the 27. A wide open Robert Clark for the first down for Detroit. Run out of bounds at the 48.
Sorry, James, you're going to see that when you play those deep zones. It's that prevent type thing. It's that, watch this. Drop out, drop out, drop out, drop back, play it for the deep pass. Don't give up the big one and leave a huge area right over there. That's what Rodney Peete sees. See everybody dropping. Fires it over there for the first down. It's a prevent defense, but you have to play a little tighter than that.
1:02 remaining. Wayne Fonts watching the stretch. Short pass to Clark. He's got the first down and some room. And Mark Robinson runs him out of bounds at the 28 of Tampa with 55 seconds remaining.
Taking advantage of that extremely loose, and I do say extremely loose, prevent-type coverage. It's a good call by the Detroit offensive people, Miles Davis's group. Get that screen out there, take advantage of those deep drops, and then let them run for the long gainer.
And that's where the speed burners come into play. Detroit needs a touchdown to win it. Complete to Clark, inside the 10. Rod Jones ropes him down.
Great athletic ability on Rodney Peete's part that time. People all around his feet. Jumped over a player to buy a little bit of time and then picks up Clark. Watch this shot right here. Watch Rodney Peete right here. He's going to get some pressure. Reuben Davis, 79, the outside linebacker, Kevin Murphy. He jumps over a player. Then he picks up his receiver coming through there for the first down.
16-10 ball game. Tampa on top. A world of time remaining. 45 seconds. The Lions have the ball at the 9 of Tampa. And Detroit has called its last timeout. And Ray Perkins, one of the believers in the Silver Stretch offense. Wayne Fonts wants to make others a believer. Needs a touchdown.
I'm sorry, James. We said this is the type thing that this Silver Stretch can do, that it can make up a lot of ground in a hurry. And here it is. They've gone a long way in a short period of time.
And look at this. The Bears drop 2 straight. First and goal. Ball at the 9. Overthrows the intended receiver, Robert Flock.
Throw it away. That's right. Throw the ball away. Don't make that bad decision down there as he did earlier. You've got 3 downs down there. All it takes is 1. Throw the ball away and start over. They're using crossing routes down there. They're running people all over the place, crossing them in the back of the end zone. Down on this part of the field, when you're getting man-to-man coverage, crossing routes are awfully tough.
Rookie quarterback showing some cool and poise in this stretch. Second and goal. Complete at the 4-yard line. Stacy Mobley. Ball is marked at the 5.
Now here's where I think that the Silver Stretch has some problems. When you get down around, here's what's going to happen. It's going to happen up here in the top of the screen right up there. He's going to get out of bounds, which is smart to take advantage of the clock. The slot back out there just stops right there. Just stops right there. Know where the sideline is and get out of bounds. On this part of the field now is where I think the Silver Stretch suffers because the field is cut down. You don't have as much field to stretch.
Incomplete. Rod Jones covering Robert Clark.
I think they ought to design something. I think they ought to come out with something that gets Rodney Peete outside more. I think he just makes a bad pass there. Really didn't have anything. I think they ought to get him outside, a dead sprint out one way or the other, right or left, where he has the option of finding somebody or running the ball.
This could be the ball game for Detroit. 4th down. Run. He's got it. Touchdown, Detroit. Rodney Peete. It was a foot race between Rodney Peete and Kevin Murphy. And Peete, with the bad knee, won it.
Well, that's what he can do for you. You get him outside. That wasn't a design sprint out. But you get him outside, he has the ability to run the ball or throw the ball. He can make some things happen.
A routine point after becomes a major one here. Eddie Murray will attempt to break the 16-16 deadlock. The holder will be Jim Arnold. 23 seconds remaining. So the Lions, hopeful of their first win this season, lead it by 1 with 23 seconds remaining.
Well, it's not a design rollout. It's a straight drop back to one side, but his great running ability, once he gets outside, they pin the contained man, Reuben Davis, inside, and the linebacker, Murphy, gets caught inside. Touchdown. Again, half sprint, trying to work this way, trying to work to his left. Nothing there. And then he just improvises and does it on his own.
Now with Vinny Testaverde on the sidelines and 23 seconds remaining, a lot of territory to cover. This is where the big arm of a Testaverde would come into play if he were in the game.
No doubt. That strong, that shotgun arm of Vinny's would come into play here, but maybe Joe Ferguson's experience of seeing this type situation an awful lot can help him.
Ray Perkins expressed immense confidence in Joe Ferguson coming into the game. Will be put to the test in this series.
See Coach Perkins pick up a blade of grass and throw it up in the air, trying to get a gauge on the wind. The opportunity for an extremely long field goal.
Elder at the 7. And drop inside of 25. And on that point, he's got one of the best field goal kickers in the business.
He's got a good one. It's just a matter of using whatever 10, 12 seconds to get him in position for it. Ray Perkins calling for his full wide receiver, nickel package receiving unit. You have to really think that Ray Perkins has got his program on the right track, and I think this man's on the right track, too. I think some players are away on offense for Detroit.
From its own 23, Tampa, 1st and 10. Incomplete.
I think we'll see the same thing. Throw the ball up, hope for maybe an interference call from the defense or some miraculous tipped catch to give you an opportunity to kick one.
And these kind of situations teams work on in practice.
It is a worked-on play. You put all your receivers on one side of the field. They all shoot down the field. One of them tries to go up and tip the ball. The other guys hang around and try to get the tip.
Now, the fastest receiver that the Bucs have on their squad is the rookie, Danny Peoples, out of North Carolina State, number 83. And Peoples is to the near side.
Same play. Hope for interference or a tip.
And it's incomplete. And that does it. There's no time left on the clock. And Detroit comes away with its first victory of the season. Back in the territory where Wayne Fontes was once an assistant coach and felt he should have been the head coach.
Well, you have to be happy for Wayne Fontes. The team is 0-5. He gets an extension on his contract, a players-type coach that you really have to pull for. Ray Perkins being the same type, his program on right track.